I now request Shilpi S. Rajaganapathi to talk about his experience of building the historical monument of Saint Thiruvalluvar, the unknown facts and secrets of challenging creation.
Thank you all to giving me this opportunity. And I'm here to talk about the historical monument of Saint Thiruvalluvar statue and the unknown facts and secrets of a challenging creation. So let me start with the presentation. Yeah. So Virat Vishwa Brahmane Namo Namaha. To the indigenous Shilpis, craftsmen of Vishwakarma tradition who have left innumerable Shilpa creations doing in the map of our country. And a humble namaskarams to everyone. So for the past 2 decades, So for the past 2 decades, the historical monument was built in a top minor rock about 400 meters from the coastline of Kanyakumari to the southern tip of Indian Peninsula. This monument is a stone sculpture was built for the renowned Tamil poet, a philosopher named Saint Thiruvalluvar. So the drawing has been displayed in below, sir, and a colossal stone statue measuring 133 feet tall, standing amidst the sea, is a scenic beauty created by the Shilpis of the modern times. The traditional science and technology to create this tall stone statue is not known of many of us. Hence, my paper is to reveal the following facts and secrets behind the stupendous stone statue. About the creator and his unbroken Shilpi lineage, Padma Bhushan Dr. Vivekananda Sthapati, the designer and the sculptor of Thiruvalluvar statue, belongs to a continuous lineage of traditional Sthapatis. Over 35 generations, a graduate in a BA English started his career as a teacher. He studied and practiced temple architecture and sculpture in a Gurukula style under his father, Shilpakala Sagaran, Sri M. Vaidyanatha Sthapati Associates. The great master architect and sculptor of many edifices across India and overseas. One of his forefathers was the illustrious chief architect, the Sthapati named Kunjaramalla Rajaraja Pirandachan, who designed and built the great Bharadishwara temple in Tanjore in the 10th century. So Sthapati was the principal of the Government College of Architecture, and he initiated and established by his father, Sri M. Vaidyanatha Sthapati, under the guidance of the Tamil Nadu government in early 1950s. After the retirement, Dr. Sthapati started his own professional guild in Chennai and propagated the ancient science and technology through his temple projects within India and all over the world. So that's the picture of Sthapati marking the statue's eyes. So I think you guys would have seen that. And he has already built landmark monuments, to name a few, like the magnificent Valluvar Kootam, Kumbukar Kalaikudam, the Tamil Nadu University of the library building and administrative building, etc. A devoted scientist and Vastu scholar, Dr. Sthapati published more than 30 books on Indian Vastu Shilpa science and technology. He was the recipient of many prestigious honors and awards such as Vastu Scientist, Shilpa Guru, Kalai Mamani and Padma Bhushan. In early 1990s, Dr. V. Sthapati was selected one among the Sthapatis by the Tamil Nadu government to design and build the Thiruvalluvar statue measuring 133 feet high. Honorable, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Kalaignar Dr. M. Karunanidhi, commissioned this challenging project of building Thiruvalluvar statue to Dr. V. Ganapathy Sthapati. Dr. Ganapathy Sthapati, the chief architect. We're coming to the design technology part. So, Ganapathy Sthapati, the chief architect, took the following methods to design the statues, and in accordance to Shilpa Shastra Grammar. Thirukural contains of 1330 short couplets under 133 chapters, which is classified under 3 subjects. It's virtue, wealth, and love. That is contains of Aram, Porul, and Inbam in Tamil. It contains 38 verses of Aram, and Porul and Inbam contains of 95 verses. After thorough research of Thirukural, Dr. Ganapathy Sthapati derived the measurements of the pedestal as 38 feet high and an Alankara Mandapam surrounding the pedestal with proportions The remaining 95 chapters from Wealth, Love were taken to design the statue from hairlock to feet. Based on Shilpa grammar, the height of the Valluvar statue is 2.5 times high of its pedestal, as shown below. The pedestal contains of 38 feet high and 10 couplets and 380 verses. And the statue is 2.5 times into 38, it's 95 feet again, and 10 couplets, 950 verses. So the total statue of the height, including the pedestal, will be 133 feet high and 1330 verses. Hence, Dr. Ganapati Sthapati proposed to build the statue on the minor rock with cut stones similarly of the building, massive temple gopurams and vimanams measuring more than 200 feet high. In this way, the built-up form would be proportionately sharing the load bearing with stability. Building Valluvar statue with cut stones in the traditional technique was suggested. This is the carving and assembling stone course by course. The comparison load will not allow the stones to move or slide from its arrangement of each step. Also, this system of stone assembling work will stand any natural calamity. Further, Dr. Ganapati Sthapati strongly opposed not to carve the statue in a single stone. This proposal was mutually agreed by the expert committee of Tamil Nadu government. So here we are on the page of traditional science and technology of the marking, sculpting, and assembling works of the Thiruvalluvar statue. Its form and measures are and aesthetics. As per Sthapati's proposal guide, building Thiruvalluvar statue in complete round form was a thrilling experience to all involved in the project. The measurement adopted in the design of the Valluvar statue are derived from Tala measure, which was one phase of our length. It is a unique rhythm-bound measure to calculate the dimensions for making sculptures. In his work, Dr. Ganapati Sthapati mentions the Talam Mukam Me Vacha, meaning the basic unit of one talam is one face length, which is used in multiples or fractions to carve the image proportionately. There are 10 types of talam applied in the making of various styles of sculptures. In the context of design, the Valluvar statue, the Sthapati adopted the 9 Navatala measures, excluding from the hairlock, which is the ideal human proportions. The following chart illustrates the applications of Tala measures for the Thiruvalluvar statue, which is here. So, the face, body, thigh, large limb, leg, head, neck, knee, feet, hairlock. Each contains each of its dimensions. So, one face length is going to be this. So, face will be 1 tala and the body will be 3 talas for 30 feet, the units. And thigh is going to be 2 talas and large limbs is going to be 8 talas. And leg is going to be 1/4 of its tala. And head is going to be again 1/4. And neck is going to be again 1/4. And knee is going to be 1/4. And feet is going to be 1/4 per tala. It's 2.5 feet. And hairlock is going to be again half tala for 5 feet. So it's going to be 95 feet in total. And coming to the foundation of the Valluvar rock. So civil foundation layings on the minor rock was another feature among various challenges to build the Valluvar statue. Expert team from the PW department was deputed to examine the rock and its strength to hold 133 feet tall statue. The PWD department confirmed the minor rock is stretched vertically into the sea up to 133 feet, up to 200 feet, and is perfectly fit to erect the stone statue. So the picture given below is the Vivekananda rock memorial on the left. On the right is going to be the minor rock, which now the statue is there. So why Thiruvalluvar statue is designed with a slight bend from waist to the right leg. From architectural perspective, this bend is given to the leg remains unanswered question. People look at it as a dancing posture. During the sculpting of Vigrahas, 3 types of expressions are used for the demonstrate the grace of an image. The expressions is technically called bhangam. It's called flexion. It's one part. So there are 3 types of bhangams, namely abhangam, samabhangam, and adibhangam. So abhangam is called one curve or one flexion, you can say that. And samabhangam is equal balanced position, and adibhangam is more than one flexion. So Dr. Stapati used Abhangam. So Saint Thiruvalluvar hails from a weaver's tradition, and his poetic verses are composed in a gentle and graceful manner. Based on this background, Stapati selected Abhangam posture as a one curve flexion to demonstrate the Thiruvalluvar with grace, humble, and politeness, holding the 10-foot long palm leaf manuscript, and in his other hand, three fingers stretched upwards, symbolically indicating the three aspects of Thirukural: virtue, wealth, love, aram, porul, inbam. So, Dr. Ganapati Stapati technically used the flexion with one bent Abhangam as supporting element and added another additional back support for the stability of the statue. So, there are 10 majestic elephants around the pedestal, which are indicating the presence of the 10 directions, including the space, earth, which are considered as sacred Hinduism. So, these are the pictures given below. So, I think few of them could have noticed the elephants when we have gone there. So it faces each directions: south, west, east, and north, and northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest, and earth and space. So it is considered as a sacred in Hinduism. So coming for the final design, based on the final design and dimension, blue granite stones were procured from various stone quarries as follows: Sirdamur quarry and Pattumalekupam quarry for the statue of the outer core stones, and Ambasamutram quarry were used for the inner stones of the statue and the pedestal stones. So for every course, Dr. Ganapati Stapati made a stucco model in actual size, which later was replicated on the granite stone. This system was a successful method to render Valluvar statue in form and with aesthetical features. Carving works were carried out at 3 different work sites, engaging more than 250 Shilpis, showing a at Chennai to facilitate easy access to transport the quarried stone and carry out the carving work of the face, hands, and legs. Ambasamutram and Kanyakumari sites for carving the pedestal and inner core stones. So, you can see the pictures, fingers of the Thiruvalluvar. I mean, the leg, toes, and fingers are sculpting over there. So once the finishing is after the installation of the leg, would be like the second one picture. And Dr. Ganapati Stapati is marking the 10-foot long palm leaf. You can see on the lower picture. His height is almost about 6 feet, and the actual size of the stone would be approximately 8 to 9 feet. So we're coming to the scaffolding part. So scaffolding was one more challenging task, since it's a huge and a very strong scaffold that was laid up to 150 feet high. There were tons of casuarina permira posts, heavy wooden planks, and loads of coir to lay the scaffolding in the wooden system. Apart from cranes to lead and lift the stones, there were huge ropes, chain pulleys of various sizes used to assemble the stone up to 133 feet high. The PWD department provided boats for the workmen to go to the minor rock to transport the carved stones and other material from shore to the minor rock. So that's the picture of the scaffoldings, and Dr. B. Ganapati Stapati is there with his entire team. And the stability of the statue. How did the stability was planned? The stability of the statue is also based on the corbelling technique followed in our ancient temple Gopuram and Vimanas. The left picture indicates of the Vimanam. So the corbelling technique is used like a narrow body ahead, and the technique was used to support the structure's roof in a tapering way, layer by layer, as shown below. This was in practice in all ancient temples like Tanjore Temple and Madurai Meenakshi Temple and so on. So the same method used for the cobbling technique in the Vimanam is used in the same as the Thiruvalluvar statue. So we're coming to the HR management in the tradition. So our ancestors followed a system to manage workforce in building huge temple structures. It is their human resource management to build temples which look unique in terms of workmanship and stability and style of architecture. Dr. V. Ganapati Sthapati, the chief architect of Saint Thiruvalluvar statue, followed his ancestors' system and aligned the workforce at 3 work sites: Sholinur, Chennai, Ambasamudram, and Kanyakumari, as told before, in ancient ways to carve and assemble the 133 feet tall skyscraping statue, the minor rock in the middle of the sea. Shilpi workflows at various levels of carving, assembling the work. So the given chart below is the Sthapati chief architect, chief designers and directors holding all over the responsibility over the architectural works and structural stability of the project. And from the lower to the next one is the Sutragrihi, chief executive. I mean, he's below the Sthapati chief architect. Chief executive will be having control over different minor groups of takshakas, the carvers. He will also supervise the guide, the work of Vardakis, the joiners. So Vardakis are the next persons assembling into a building all finished parts done by carvers. He is the actual builder. So takshakas are the carvers. Takshakas carve the stone based on the marking by the Sthapatis and Sutragrihis. And the pedestal and the statue. I'm sorry. So the pedestal and the statues are made out of 3,681 carved stones, none weighing more than 5 tons. The total weight of the built statue is 7,000 tons of carved blue granite stone and rare of its kind across the globe. The statue was unveiled of the Millennium Day of 1st January 2000 by Dr. M. Karunanidhi, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Thiruvalluvar statue is a testimony of what Vishwakarma's Shilpis can achieve. And Dr. Sthapati,
Rajaganapathi ji, you have about 2 minutes to wrap up, please.
Yeah, ma'am. This is my last paper.
Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry. So, Dr. Sthapati was about, like, Dr. Kalangar looked at Sthapatis for an answer. The press meet asked about what is going to what should I say to the press meet about asking the press meet is asking about the questions of how long will the statue survive. So Ganapati Sthapati instantly replied that this statue will stand till the existence of the sea waves and the minor rock. In Tamil, they say Alayum Malayum Ullavari Sile Nirkum. So this reply was inspired one and all in this press meet. As stated by Ganapati Sthapati, this massive statue stood unaffected when the tidal waves of tsunami on 26 December 2004 hit the Indian Ocean. I am very delighted to share some of the secrets in building of Thiruvalluvar statue by my grandfather Padma Bhushan Dr. V. Ganapati Sthapati in the august presence of respected scholars. No doubt that this massive structure of Saint Thiruvalluvar statue will represent the excellence of Vishwakarma in the crafts tradition. I thank Namaste Indica for giving me this great opportunity to participate and present my paper for the very first time.
Thank you so much, Rajaganapathi ji. This was a fascinating presentation, and thank you for taking us through the journey of such a mammoth project being undertaken in the traditional way. It is indeed, as you said, it's a testimony to what the Vishwakarma community can achieve even today. A project of this scale using traditional technology. It's really fascinating, and you are indeed very lucky to have a grandfather like Ganapati Sthapati, and I hope he will continue in his footsteps. And thank you so much for this very insightful presentation.
Yes,
I will just check if there are any questions. Okay. There are no, yeah. Can you elaborate a bit on the corbelling technique of stabilizing, please?
Yes, ma'am. So the cobbling technique is a hollow part. You want me to do the It's a hollow part inside the Vimanam.
Yes.
We know that the Vimanam has an hollow part inside in the center part of the Vimanam, and the statue is the same thing. So they have kept a hollow part inside the statue, and there have been few holes in the backside of the statue. So the holes and the cobbling has kept for the air. I'm not very sure. One second. Yeah. So let's see.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the cobbling is a
Can you hear
step by
me?
step, like we would have seen the pyramids which have been in the Mexicos. So it will be like step by step. So the same thing has been applied here by the ancestors of our previous. They have used the same technique here for the Thiruvalluvar statue.
Okay. There are two observations. One says that thank you for the fascinating insight into making of the statue. Wonderful paper and very well presented. There is a question. What is your view of the religious tradition of Saint Thiruvalluvar?
What is the view of the?
What is your view of the religious tradition of Saint Thiruvalluvar?
It's a great statue from my side, and I've been there since I was a child. I was 9 years old when I visited the statue with my father and my grandfather.
Thank you so much, and I really wish you all the best. And I hope you have a very unique combination. You're a graduate in media studies, and you are trained in the sculptural traditions of your ancestors. I hope you'll be able to combine both these and make sure that tradition, the work, or information of out to people, because murti or a finished project, but we don't see the effort that goes on behind it. So please continue with this work, and it's really fascinating. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.